Yeah, well, it says, yeah, so he goes, oh, and Rich, you're a bitch. Don't forget February. I have no clue what that is. Or does he think he was talking to me or something like that? I don't know. He's fucked up. But like I said, we can do this anytime, any place, anywhere. I'll jump on a fucking plane tomorrow. I don't give a fuck. As a matter of fact, I'll even fucking post it. I got my itinerary. I'll be in fucking Vegas in a few weeks for fucking 4 days for another Traders Expo that I go to every year. I go to Vegas the beginning of November every single fucking year, and I go to fucking Times Square in New York for the Traders Expo every single fucking year for the past 5 years. I'm there. It's fucking clockwork. If he wants to fucking buck up, we buck up anytime, any fucking place. I will fucking destroy that fat fucking piece of shit. So he talks like he thinks he's talking to me or he's talking to me, and I don't even watch his fucking shit. I catch it from fucking everybody else tells me this, but I think I'm going to put an end to this here pretty fucking soon. I'm going to put this motherfucker on blast. I'll even pull him up on fucking live and tell him. I don't know who the fuck he thinks he is. He thinks he's untouchable or he's the Godfather or he's going to fucking kick everybody's ass. He's a fucking out of shape, fucking fat, fucking piece of shit. I'd fucking leg sweep that fucking bad hip of his. He'd roll down the fucking street and look like a turtle trying to fucking flip back over. Send him these fucking voice clips. I don't give a fuck. Tell him this too. Be a fucking man and contact me personally if you got a fucking problem, homeboy. Again, I can jump a plane any fucking day of the week. Let's fucking do this. Get your fucking fat ass on a fucking plane and go somewhere. Oh, wait, you can't. The fuck's he talking about? Yeah, I'll be in New York in February for the Traders Expo. He keeps saying February 1st, and I'm going to say it again. It's the end of February. In Times Square, and I'll be at the Marriott Marquis anytime he wants to fucking come over there and hunt me down and talk shit. But yeah, I ain't going to play his fucking games. He's still talking about this shit 6 months later. Tell him to pick up the phone and fucking call me. But how did that conversation come about? Yeah, Robert Sargent is Tony. But, I mean, what's going on? I mean, where'd this February thing come up fucking 6 months later? What's his fucking problem? If he's got problems, I got fucking solutions. You can tell him to fucking reach out to me any goddamn time he fucking wants. But how did it come about? But yeah, no, I'm not under any fucking fake profile. That just shows how fucking stupid he is. And of course, he's going to talk. He probably knows it's not me. He's probably just running his shit. He's got my number. He knows how to fucking reach out to me. I'll be out there in fucking February, and guess what'll happen? Tony will be nowhere around, or Tony will come up with something stupid like, come to Brooklyn, motherfucker, come to Brooklyn. Bitch, you got the fucking car. You come to fucking Times Square. You know where I'm at. I'm in the same fucking place every single year. I am at the Marriott Marquis in Times Square, right there on Broadway. You can't fucking miss me. I'll be there every fucking year. I'll be there for 5 days. Maybe 4. But I always leave on a Thursday. And I'll come home on a Monday or Tuesday. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try flying in and out of a new fucking airport. I'll probably go to New York airport this year instead of LaGuardia. I ain't got nothing to hide, motherfucker. Telling you. This motherfucker, I'm going to make an example out of a motherfucker real quick. And then if he's going to show up and what the fuck's going to happen? What's he going to fucking do? What is he so fucking mad at? Because I called him out because he borrowed money from a bunch of fucking people and then fucking went ghost on me? And he's mad at me because of that? And then you're going to come all the way to fucking Times Square and fucking threaten me and hunt me down for what, motherfucker? That's how motherfuckers get their ass beat. This ain't high school. You're not going to knock the books out of my fucking hand every single fucking day and think I'm not going to do anything. bitch, you show up and I'm telling you what, you are going to get a fucking beat down. Yeah, people are just getting burnt out from this shit. But if you talk to him, you tell him you talk to me, man. I'll give him the ultimatum. He can reach out and talk to me like a fucking man, or he can act like a fucking internet tough guy. But yeah, I'll be there at the end of February, last weekend of February, and I'll be at the Marriott Marquis. Just let me know, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to play his fucking game, but if you're going to go out of your way to track someone down, be prepared to fucking get what's coming to you. And I hope you put that shit on Facebook Live, because you'll be cutting that live feed real fucking quick when shit turns not the way you wanted it to turn. He'll get his ass fucking beat. He'll probably get fucking arrested too. I can guarantee you'll get a fucking arrest if he goes out of his way to fucking start shit. That's fucking a gimme right there. I'll get my first fucking arrest on live fucking Facebook. But he'll get a fucking ass beat and a fucking arrested. How about that? Better yet, man, why wait till fucking February? If you got that much fucking pent up energy and you're talking about shit from 6 fucking months ago, they'll fucking fly out to Detroit, fucking Daddy Warbucks. Drive, get in that motherfucking 6-cylinder fucking Challenger and fucking drive to Detroit. It's a fucking 8-hour car ride. I mean, come on, man. You ain't got nothing but fucking air and opportunity between us, motherfucker. Why wait till fucking February? If you're that fucking angry, then fucking make it happen sooner, bitch. Yeah, that shit gets my blood pressure up, man. I mean, because it just shows how much of a fucking idiot he is. But yeah, I think maybe he thought that there was a fake profile and he thought it was me. But I don't do that shit, man. I got better things to do in life than go under a bunch of different fucking fake profiles and harass somebody or talk shit. If I got something to say, I'm going to say it under my own fucking profile. I have nothing to fucking hide. I ain't hiding shit. You can fucking dig into my record. You can do whatever. You can find out where I fucking retired from. I mean, there's nothing that I can fucking hide from. You know what I'm saying, man? I mean, so I'm me. This is it. This is all you're gonna get. But that shit fucking pisses me off. I'm gonna say fucking February. Well, why wait? Do it now, bitch. If he went on live today and contacted me and fucking gave me like that fucking boxing challenge or something, I wouldn't even do the boxing challenge. If he did it, I'd jump on the fucking plane tomorrow. Especially if someone's gonna fucking pay for my fucking flight. But I can go anywhere at any fucking time. I don't care. But, I mean, why wait till... If you're that fucking angry, bro, fucking then do something sooner. Why wait a year? It'd be a fucking year in February. And then you're going to come up to fucking Times Square and you're going to start a fight or a fucking whatever a year later over what? Because you had to fucking pay me my money back? That's what it is? And then you're going to get your ass beat doing that. So he's just going to take a bunch of L's. Wait a second. He's going to get the 1%ers after me, isn't he? He's lucky I'm not that type of person to turn into that fucking threat that he fucking sent me. I got the whole voice recording of the whole fucking conversation of him saying he's going to come to Detroit and murder me. And I kept telling him to say it clearly. And he goes, I don't give a fuck if this call's recorded or not. I will come to your house and murder you. I mean, he's lucky I didn't fucking turn around and do something with that. But I'm not that type of person. He knows who the fuck I am. And I'm not scared of his little fucking idle threats either. Yeah, I'll have to go through all my recordings. I think that was back in, June that it happened. I'll have to go through all the recordings on that. Alan was on three-way with that back then, too. And that's why I kept saying, say it louder. And he kept going, I will fucking murder you. I don't care if you're recording this call. Record it all you want. I will fucking murder you. And I'm all, dude, you ain't gonna murder shit but this dick in your mouth. Do you have any information on what's going on with Tony and Shane? Are they really getting that TV deal? Because they keep hinting in all their lives that, oh, big things are happening. You guys will see. You guys will really be hating pretty soon. Do you have any inside info on that? Because, yeah, go ahead and get that TV deal, dude. And then come to Times Square when I'm there. As a matter of fact, I'll take the L. You hit me, I'm gonna fall. Don't touch me until the police and the ambulance is here. When the ambulance shows up, they're gonna say, can you feel your feet? And I'm gonna say, what feet? And then he better have his manager and everybody else for his TV deal, because I'm gonna own that whole fucking thing. Oops. You had that for a quick minute, didn't you, Tony? Does that producer have those screenshots? Did she confirm? Where's Shane get involved with this? Because Shane just went back to Florida. Seemed like they had a falling out. Him and Tony had a falling out or something, and he bolted and went back to Florida, and it's not like he's doing anything. I mean, what's Shane doing? Flying out for the day and flying back? If Shane did something like that, he'd be bragging about it. And he's not doing anything. So, what'd the producer say about that 1.4 million and, you know, the 8 season episodes and whatever? I mean, it ain't gonna go anywhere. But yeah, let me get that together and we can send that over to her. That whole conversation when he was gonna pay me back, and then he said he was gonna fucking murder me. And you'll even hear in the conversation when I said, the only thing you're going to murder is this dick in your mouth. I mean, he must have got some money somehow if he got that car. You know, and then he started driving around. He had that same watch as Shane, but he probably got that from one of those fake-ass places in Times Square that I walk past all the time when I'm out there. Go back to that video where they were driving around that day with Vice in the car. What shirt was he wearing? Look and see what shirt he was wearing that day. Was it that purple one? I wonder if he was just taking those pictures and sending them to you, and they were just taking pictures of that night when it was happening, and he's acting like he's filming right now. I don't see Vice coming up off their wallet for 1.1 million or 1.4 million for a stupid documentary like that. I don't see it happening. I really don't. They might have paid him 30 grand, but I don't see anything over 100,000. Well, all we can do is wait and see. Time is it? It's 11:15. I was going to say, if I got a little bit of time tonight, I'll have to go back to all my voice recordings and see if I can pick that one out where he said he murdered me, and I'll send it over to you. Like I said, I could have turned that shit into the police. I could have gave it to Aaron to turn into the FBI and shit too, when the FBI were just at Aaron's house last week. But again, I'm not that type of person. Because I already know his threats are idle. It's 11:15 and my fat ass is fucking eating for the first time today. Yeah, I swear he was wearing that shirt that night when that girl was in the back seat when they were doing that drive around that first time with him and Shane. So that was probably pictures that he took of the microphone and stuff that night. And now he's passing it off and acting like he's on the set and shit like that. Doesn't fucking happen that way. You know, some of his stupid followers will believe it. But come on, man. Yeah, I'll look for that tonight. And when I get it, I'll trim it down. And then I'll fire it over to you. You can do whatever you want with it. But obviously, if it gets out, he's going to know it was me, because obviously it's my voice. And Yeah, my all my calls are recorded anyway, just because of my businesses. Yeah, but in this day and age, man, the way how sensitive everybody is, like Megan Kelly with talking about, when she was younger, they used to dress up like at Janet Jackson and stuff, but they never, I never called it blackface, but she mixed it with blackface. She gets fired. Um, you know, uh, what's his name from fucking with Trump? Billy Bush, when he fucking laughed when Trump said grab him by the pussy and shit like that, fired. I mean, just people saying the wrong things on air getting fired, or bad behavior getting fired, losing their fucking job. Um, there's no way that these motherfuckers are going to get a deal the way they act and the way they talk to fucking people. Because if they ended up making it big and they start dropping those fucking tapes, there'd be outrage. A fucking liability before the fucking thing even leaves the fucking ground. It's a liability. Especially in this day and age. I mean, if you want to be a public figure and then you talk like that to people and you fucking fight and you argue and you cause drama and you want to try to be a public figure on top of that, you'll never get off the ground. You will not, in this day and age, you will never get off the fucking ground. I don't believe they have any fucking deal. And where's Tony's fucking challenger at? Talking all that mad shit, and then all of a sudden, mysteriously, he gets in an accident, and you never hear about that fucking car again. Every one of his goddamn lives are with him fucking sitting in the house. He had that car. He was fucking Shane Jr. He'd go live every fucking time from the fucking car. Okay, so I just heard that it might be possible that was correct. They want to try to do something with all the predator hunters, something like a live PD, where they'll go to different parts of the country as they're doing live bus or whatever. And the production company thought that there was too much drama going on, and they wanted them to clean their shit up. So that's why they're going on an apology tour, trying to get everybody on the same page so that deal doesn't go dead. No, I'm not doubting you on that. I know that for a fact too. But I'm sure they're going to find a way around that stuff where they can do it where it's not going to be bad. And I don't know what the fuck Tony's talking about, sending them to rehab. They ain't going to motherfucking rehab. So I have no clue. But I just heard that they were trying to get all the hunters together on one side so they can have them all on the show doing like certain areas and stuff like that, kind of like a live PD thing, but not live. But that's supposed to be it. And I guess Shane was telling Jesse Weeks, yeah, I'm going to bring you aboard, man. We're going to get this money. And you see Chad crying like a bitch on Williams' post on Team Neutral? Made that post about Shane and Tony and Jesse Weeks and all those guys, and he left Chad's name out. And of course, Chad's got to immediately jump on, because Team Neutral ain't fucking neutral, because Tony and those guys are fucking admins. But as soon as the fucking post was made, within fucking 2 minutes, Chad's on there, what, you forget about me and my chopped liver? Getting all butthurt and fucking jealous that no one mentions him. No, Chad, you're fucking irrelevant, bitch. Sit down. And now he got a new haircut. He got a Tony and a fucking Shane haircut now. So now all three of them got the same goddamn haircut. Oh, man. Have fun with that. I mean, there's going to be a shit ton of liabilities. That's why I think it's going to be structured to something different. And that just proves right there that what Tony said about what did he say, 3 seasons or 4 seasons with 8 episodes per season and stuff like that? They haven't even done a pilot yet. There's no way that anybody is going to turn around and let you sign a contract and book you for 3 seasons. Fucking Roseanne can't even make 1 season. and they're going to do this on a whim. A lot of that shit Tony is saying is a fucking lie. I'm sure there might be something, but I think the reason why the delay and they're so silent right now is because I think everything's on the back burner. I really think everything's on the back burner. And if there is something, it's not going to be 3 seasons with 8 episodes. It might be just one show or something like that. I got that video you're talking about with Stephen Anthony Blas. I've got that video. You were right. It was Heather Costner and Alan Cohen that turned around. I think Heather's the one that made it, gave it to Alan, and then Alan started spreading it out on all the pages. I got that video. I'll have to look for it. But it did include the street that he lived on, the cross street. It was like 79th place or something like that. Tony no longer lives there anymore. You know, him and Natalia split up, and he's like in a 1-bedroom shack apartment right now by himself. Speaking of which, I still want to know where the fucking car's at. He gets in a so-called accident in the beginning of October, and nobody wants to call him out on, hey, Tony, where's the car? And why are you living in a different apartment now by yourself? Ceiling's different. It's like one long apartment. It's like the kitchen, living room, and bedroom all in one sweeping long room. Yeah, it was beginning of October. And he made that post. He's all, fuck my life, got in an accident in the car, everybody's okay. Nobody's asked him about the car or where his car's at. So that was either Natalia's car, and they split up. Because you also got to remember, if you remember when he was going to get the Chinese food in the car, and then he parked, that's not the same house. It's a different apartment. Also, it's not from the interview. Tony's been going live probably, the last couple weeks. You know, he'll show up on Shane's live, he'll show up on Chad's live, and then he'll show up on Alan's live. He's in the same fucking place. Look at the ceiling. It's just a flat white. It doesn't have that design in it that he used to always had pointed up at the ceiling. Also, he was walking through it in one of the lives, and he was like in the kitchen, and then all of a sudden he was like in a living room, and then he laid down in the bed. It was like one sweeping long room. That was it. It was just like a 1-bedroom apartment. In that video with Alan, you can tell that the place that he was at is different than the place he was when he supposedly said he was at 111 Grand Avenue. And his daughter has not been around. Remember how he used to always have his daughter and Natalia around and stuff like that? And he'd walk outside. Now all his videos are inside. He's not outside because there's nobody there. It's just him by himself. Someone called it the first time he got that car. They were looking for those little stickers for like rental cars or whatever. And someone said it, and then he went on the video, and he's like, this ain't no rental car. You know, who do you know that has the money to turn around and have a rental car for a month? Man, what's that company? It's like Airbnb. What's Turo or something like that? You can rent someone's fucking car for a month, man. All you do is pay $300 or whatever the car payment is, and you rent the car from somebody. I mean, it's not that hard to give someone $300 and rent a car for $400, especially the way him and Shane were spending money buying suits, and then all of a sudden Tony had one of those watches like Shane, and he kept flicking it. All I know is he probably didn't get in an accident. He had to return the car, or he already got that bitch repoed. And he used that as he got in an accident as an excuse, and no one's checking him on it. No one's saying, hey, Tony, where's your car at? Nobody's asking him, where's your car? Just like if you ask him on live, go, are you a master plumber? He'll fucking bounce around the whole fucking question. But give me until tomorrow and I'll send you that video. I'm going to have to go back onto my other account that's on ban and go into my archives to pull that video. But like I said, it was Heller Costner. Because I remember Alan was working on it for like 2 days straight to find out where he lived. They were Google mapping it. They were fucking MapQuesting it. They were doing everything. They were doing Google Earth. And then finally they were going up and down all the streets because they were going through his videos, watching which way he was walking from his plumber job. And they were seeing street names, you know, the street signs in his videos. And he would turn around and they would stop and take a picture, you know, screenshot every street sign he walked past. And then they pinpointed it down to one certain or one like a block of like 4 streets. And then all of a sudden they Google imaged it. And they went up and down every one of those 4 streets, house to house, looking on both sides of the street, and found the exact same front of the house, and it matched the address that was in the back of them in that one video screenshot. It was a perfect match. And I remember it was Alan fucking and Heather Costner, and they were fucking spending 2 days on that shit. Just like in that same video, they lied about me and the fucking money. Alan was saying I was the snake, and he gave Alan the money, and I rushed Alan the next day to go make that video. That's bullshit, because that people in the chat room knew that I kept saying I'm going to give Tony the benefit of the doubt, and I'll give it until Monday, and I'll just file paperwork. It was Alan that kept saying, no, we got to do the video now. I went into that whatever girl profile you made that that last video where you said that girl's profile was removed. That was Tony that was in that. That was the one that Alan gave him. How ironic that profile popped up the same day that Tony and Alan went fucking live. But that profile, Alan went back in it, and that's when he seen those messages of Tony leaving for girls asking for money. Saying that he was going to lose his apartment, he's behind on the rent, he's getting evicted, he can't afford a cell phone bill, blah, blah, blah. But it was that same girl's account that Alan got into, and then that's when Alan got a hold of me and said, he's asking other people for money. Getting the action. I got to go through my other account and then go through the archives. I got those videos somewhere. But it does show the street. It's like 79th place or something like that was the street. Alan also lied and said that, you know, in that same video that, you know, he knows who called his work and shit like that too. Yeah, you did, motherfucker. Alan Cohen called his work. I got the fucking chat logs to prove that he was calling his work that time. Fucking, it was stupid, man. But like I said, his followers will think that's so funny. Oh, Team Neutral. That's part of his page. But anyway, they thought that shit was, they probably think that was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And it was actually fucking stupid. I mean, a 9-year-old could have made that. Tony. Phony. Your boy Chad's post on Team Neutral just a little while ago. Huh. These motherfuckers are so stupid. He looks like one of those, he looks like someone in one of those sumo wrestler suits, or he's built like a fucking bowling pin. You, Tony Blas, you ain't built for that, motherfucker. If he would spend as much time in the gym as he does on Facebook, he would be able to enter the Mr. Olympia contest in 2019. If he would just put that much effort into self-help, he would be a beast. He'd be slim, trim, little stacky brick house. Nope. Look at him. That's a sign of laziness right there. What you doing, Tony? You in a wheelchair? Tony Blas, you bobblehead looking motherfucker. You built like a bowling pin. He's resting his arms on top of his fucking belly. Oh, fucking Tony Blas.
I legitimately have been nothing but genuine and legitimately express myself through truth and through real feelings and friendships. It's crazy how me and Tony, my partner, are tied in so well with production and so well with the deal we have going. It's going to wipe anybody else who's trying to take credit of it off the face of the freaking planet. But it's crazy when I'm so tied in, I get a call from a segment developer telling me that the Dr. Oz show is going to be doing a special on Anthony Green as a person who started the Predator movement. Well, I'll tell you what, I have an entire team now ready to pounce and ready to counteract that. So I really greatly appreciate a call to just kindly explain, please.
You didn't hear about all the shit that's been going on? That's Shane trying to infiltrate and put a stop to Anthony Green doing an interview on the Dr. Oz show, trying to call his people to put a stop to it. Then you got all the things that are going on with Billy Kane and Shane. I guess Shane donated and then turned around, donated to Adley, and then contacted GoFundMe and wanted a refund back, so they stopped that $20,000 that's in that GoFundMe. There's an investigation going on now because Shane tried to get his money back, so it locked the account. You can't donate or take money from it now. Shane did that shit on purpose. It's a recorded phone call that got leaked. You might, if you want to know the specifics, I would talk to Anthony Green, because Anthony Green's the one that got his hands on it yesterday. And he wants the news spread on how Shane acts like that he's not involved in anything, but yet he's the one rallying the troops to report pages for no reason, like Jesse Weeks, Anthony Green, and you know, he says he doesn't stay away from everything, and he likes Anthony and everything else, but then that recording proves false. That was just recently. No, not yet. Nobody has. Anthony Green sent it over to me and Titus yesterday and wanted to do something with it, and then Titus went live, and he got shut down like in 6 or 7 minutes yesterday. And he hasn't had a chance to go back live again. He was going after Chad Gredick and all that other shit, and then he was going to drop that. But we never got that far yesterday. And then he was trying to get a hold of Anthony Green to get the exact facts on everything with Adley. And Anthony Green was so damn busy yesterday, he never got back with Titus. Titus waited for him for like hours. Yeah, it is a one-party consent state. Shane does it all the time in Florida, and that was Shane talking in Florida. Like that recording with Archie Gibbs and Johnny Drama. Did you try reaching out to Anthony Green yet? I do have, he's on a sock profile as well, because I'm not sure if he got shut down or banned under his Anthony Green one. But his sock is Tara Banks. If you want me to send you the link, I'll send you the link too. But try getting a hold of him and double check. That came from Anthony Green. That, and I've got a bunch of screenshots on a conversation as well, if you want me to fire those over to you. Yeah, Titus said he just talked to Anthony Green a little bit ago. And Shane and those guys are having him mass reported like really bad. So he said he'll get back with everybody here in a few. Ah, shit. Stand down. Things just did a U-turn. I guess Adley's mom just came out and said that Shane Coyle was in the right, and it's Anthony Green that's a scammer, and now all of a sudden Aaron Hall, Billy Kane, and Dawn, Adley's mom, and everyone else is turning against Anthony Green, saying that he's a cokehead and he's trying to get money now, extort money out of Shane for cocaine. That's what I said. It's a total 360 from what was going on last night and for what I received. But it sounds like that Anthony Green was trying to go on this pity tour before all this shit was going to drop to make it look like that he was, it was Shane's fault and everything. But from what everyone's saying and what Adley's mom said, it's Anthony Green that's he was trying to extort money from Shane, and he was getting money, collecting money from people and keeping it for his own coke habit. And then Aaron Hall started turning against him in the same live, and then Billy Kane. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's total 360. I told Titus just to fucking stay away and let them fucking destroy each other. All right, I'm sending that stuff out here in a minute. That video will be dropping everywhere. It should start dropping by everybody as soon as everyone starts waking up here. Don't worry, it'll start trickling out very soon. All right, that video's starting to get dropped. I got a couple people that already started dropping it. Hey, that second video is something we stumbled across. The first video, is there any way that you can pull a clip off of that first video where it says CJ Pavis Hall is an outstanding individual? He never goes after kids. He never said he was going to go after kids or anything. And then do one of those split screen videos to prove how Shane just plays to the masses and tells them what they want to hear, thinking that everybody's going to forget what he said. That first video showing that CJ Hall's threatening his daughter and shit, and then all of a sudden last weekend he's saying, no, CJ Hall is an outstanding individual, he doesn't stand for that kid shit. But yet he forgets he just accused CJ Pavis Hall not too long ago for doing shit about his daughter, which was a fucking total lie anyways. Can you make one of your little videos like that? You don't even have to do the commentary. You can, if you can just take a clip of that first video and add it onto the clip of the second video, your little magic. Unless you want to commentate it, but you don't have to. That first video when he starts talking about CJ is about 2 minutes into the video, if you want to know around the location. And then add it into that second video so people can see he's full of shit half the time. Yeah, CJ said to go ahead and roll with that. He forgot about that voice clip as well. He must have deleted that video. Hold on a second, because it's showing unavailable on my end now, too. Hold on. Hey, also, hold on. You must be banned off of Shane's page, I take it, huh? Because it keeps coming up unavailable for you. So what I'm going to do is when I'm done, I'm out driving right now. When I get back home, I'll screen record it on my end and send it over to you. This video and tell him to add that too. For whatever reason, I'm trying to get some dialogue of what he wants to do. I told him just stop sending a fucking bunch of stupid ass videos and trying to make sense out of it. So give me a little bit and I'll screen record the first video and send it over to you when I get home. Give me about an hour. All right, there you go. You got the two videos of Shane contradicting himself. 1 minute he's saying that Shane's threatening his daughter and sending people to his daughter. Then you got the next video that says CJ's a stand-up guy. And then you got CJ's, and then I sent you the video of what CJ wanted you to add to it at the end, which is CJ telling him to eat shit. What Shane's been doing is he's saying that CJ and Joe King are good friends with him now, and it's making people think that CJ switched sides, which he never did. All Shane's doing is manipulating. So CJ wants a nice little video put together, a little collage, as we should say, and then just start dropping it everywhere. That basically says, I'm not your friend, Shane. And now Alan's going after CJ, so CJ's about ready to put him in his place. CJ's digging through his archive to see if he's got something on Alan, besides that video of him yelling at his kids. Sweet. Let me send this over to CJ, and I'll get back with you in about 5 minutes. Thanks. He just got the message, so he's reading it. I'll let you know in a second. Hey, are you not posting anything anywhere anymore, or do you want to start dropping that places? Like Karate Couch, Couch Talk, Fraud or Nah, Team Neutral. Well, Team Neutral probably won't accept it, but is that what you want to do? Or do you want us to turn around and start doing it? Because I know you haven't been really posting too much, have you? Or something. So I'll have to get back with you on that. It was about Jesse Weeks' live earlier. Rumor had it that the one that he busted last night committed suicide, but I guess that wasn't true. But everybody was sticking up, saying, well, he was a predator anyways. No, he wasn't convicted, and guess what? Jesse Weeks is going to go to fucking get sued and everything else because the family's going to go after him if that happened. And that's exactly what I've been saying for a while. And that's exactly what you said. So, yeah, go to Team Neutral. You'll see the post. They were freaking out because he left a suicide note. Hey, you can't let the Amber Bankhead thing slide either. You also got to remember that Alan and Tony also are premature. They always been. Back in the summertime, I kept telling them to stand down when they were trying to do that shit with the trucker and all that other stuff, and they're premature and they don't have their T's crossed and their I's dotted, and they want to go live with the shit. So don't let that shit slide, man. Because Aaron's already scrambling right now, and then you mentioned my name, and now they're all talking that I was a fucking liar, and now they're fucking inboxing me. Amber Baker and all them fucking stupid fucks. Okay, I gotcha. Because you mentioned it in that video that you made. You said, I've got the proof of you bragging that you had a threesome with Amber Bankhead. That's what I meant. I wouldn't let that go. I'd keep that going and going and going, because that's what fucks Aaron up, and because it fucks with Amber, and then Amber fucking gets mad at Aaron. And if Amber finds out that Aaron was bragging about it after all this, that could be the nail in the coffin with that one. Number one. I don't know about the trucker. What did I say about the trucker? Oh, with Alan. No, I was saying because they like to prematurely just go live with shit like Alan did with the trucker back in the summertime when he was supposed to go to his house and interview him live, and Tony kept telling Tony, don't go live until Alan is there and makes contact with the guy, because you're going to look stupid if you go live with all that shit and then all of a sudden it doesn't happen. And he didn't listen. So I didn't want anything to do with that one. Then you mentioned my name about the New York City thing, and I got people like Amber Baker and shit calling me a fucking liar and a pussy and being called a pussy that I wouldn't go to fucking New York. It's like, bitch, please shut the fuck up. Don't let the Amber Bankhead thing fucking disappear. Keep that in the limelight. I wish you would have proof though that Aaron and Amber had sex in the van when they supposedly went to the graveyard together and left fucking Megan at home alone, or at home with the kids and fucking Amber Bankhead's husband. I wish you would get proof on that, because Megan says that she doesn't put it past Aaron, and she doesn't put it past that Aaron and Amber had sex that day when they were supposedly in the van together. And that's what pissed her off, because they fucking didn't want her to go. But yet they made her stay home with the kids. Got to stop you at the screening phone calls. I had the password and stuff to his account, because obviously I had to fucking pay his phone bill. I gave it to Alan. Recently, when Alan and fucking Tony got back together and started humping each other's leg again, Alan told Tony it was me. So Tony thinks it was me fucking going in his account and fucking stealing stuff. And he said that he was going to file a police report on me. I said, fucking do it. Let's pull the IP address of who was doing it. I kept telling him it wasn't me. It was fucking Alan. Do the same thing Tony does. Because, you know, Tony's dumb ass can't leave the state of New York, or he's too broke to do it. Bray's already been in trouble with the FBI for what he did when he swatted the police chief. So they're well aware of his fucking internet games. I mean, you got, there's probably, I could fill up your inbox right now with voice clips of Megan Bray crying, literally crying, that her husband's addicted to Facebook and that he cheats on her and all kinds of other shit. Have fun with that one, because that right there just proves that Aaron is having his wife lie now publicly, because that's right out of her own mouth, and that was about a month to a month and a half ago. So that's not old stuff. That's pretty fresh stuff. And a lot of people haven't heard that yet, and haven't heard about the real Aaron Bray. Did you hear the new news? I'm a pedophile. From Brandy and David. You haven't seen what's going on the last couple days? And I've been debunking him and showing him he's been fake news for everything he said. David Powers, Brandy Powers. That would be nice, because oh man, the shit, dude, the shit popped off last night, and then David said he went to the police station and filed a fucking report on me, and I begged him. I said, please be telling the truth. Please have the police department call me. They didn't call me last night. I knew he was lying, because if he did it early enough, they would have turned around and called me while he was there. And then today I was begging him, please, I hope you filed that report. The cops still haven't called me. Started out by saying a friend requested his 15-year-old son. And by last night when he was drunk, I was soliciting malicious contact with him or something. I mean, he was coming up with some stupid off-the-wall shit. I told him I'd beat the fuck out of him. I said, I'll meet you right now. I said, we're 4 hours away. I'll drive 2 hours towards you. You drive 2 hours towards me. I told him, I even picked the place. I said, we'll meet at 24 West and Fairchild in Fort Wayne, Indiana at 6 p.m. And then he swung around that and he's all, come to my door, come to my door. And it's like, are you fucking stupid? You're inviting me to come over to cause trouble with you. So what? You can call the cops? Come on, man. If you're that big and bad, just meet me. I'm willing to jump in my car right now. And that's what I kept telling him. And he just kept talking. He was like a fucking child, dude. Like a child telling me that him and Brandy don't drink and do meth and shit, but then he goes live talking shit, pounding fucking 22-ounce tall boys. And the more he drank, the stupider he got. One minute I got fired from the sheriff's department, and now I work at a radio station for minimum wage. Then it was I don't have any job, and I don't even own my own house. I mean, it was so much shit. He was just grasping for straws. And then he brings Tony live last night, and Tony's like a bobblehead agreeing with him. I'm all, you got to be kidding me, Tony. You know better than that. So I called Tony this morning to bitch him out. He answers. I start bitching him out. He hangs up on me, and then he sends me to voicemail 4 or 5 times after that. Then he goes live. Then Tony goes live tonight crying because he said Titus told me I touched my kid. And then he starts crying, boo-hoo. But yet he's over there backing fucking David Powers like a bobblehead when they're accusing me of fucking being a pedophile on a kid. Got fired from the sheriff's department. Yeah, and then they get mad when they get trolled back. But the point is, and then here's another one. And then tonight with Jesse Weeks. Jesse Weeks has Shane, Chad, and Tony up, and they're all being best friends. A month ago, they were trying to get him on rape charges. Shane was supposedly talking to a detective, and he's going to get an arrest. Jesse Weeks is going to be in handcuffs by the end of the night. If not by the end of the night, by the end of the weekend. And now all of a sudden today, it's like a love fest, man. They're like, I love you, bro. I love you. Now Amber Bankhead said that Brett's going to go live to turn around and tell his story live with Lucian. I mean, this shit just never ends. They want to be out of the drama and they cry when the drama starts, but then when there's no drama, they create drama just to keep it around. Because if they didn't, then they would all have to go out and get a goddamn job. Amber Bankhead's
if he had Down syndrome, Lucian. If he had cerebral palsy.
Yeah, but he doesn't look like him. His real name is Stephen Conway. He's from Jackson, Michigan. He's got 2 profiles on Facebook, and they're both a picture of a lion's head. But if you go into his videos and photos, you will see him playing guitar and singing to verify it's him. Domestic violence on a pregnant girl. Domestic violence, that's LB Jr. Those motherfuckers are following around an LB Jr. I'll try to get you some bigger screenshots. Basically it is Stephen Conway Jr. is a woman beater. And those motherfuckers still support yet another woman beater. He pleaded guilty and served 97 days in Jackson County Prison, or Jackson County Jail, in agreement that the charges would end up being dismissed after that. So he spent 97 days. Now, the kicker, he's LB Jr. He beat a pregnant girl. Don't worry, I'm working on it. I'll have to go on my phone to the county website and pull it back up that way and get bigger screenshots. So basically, he's just all like the other ones. And after doing some backgrounds on him and searching around, he's been Shane Coyle cult for a long time, even leaving reviews on the pages and stuff, him and his family. So he's not that much of a saint and innocent like people thought he was. Basically, he's an LB Junior, and people think he's great. They just don't see through it. Especially after he accused Jenny Delaporte of being a pedophile and sleeping with kids in her bed and shit. And then Jenny Delaporte says, oh, well, he apologized. Well, how many motherfucking times has someone had to apologize about the same shit? He's a fucking woman beater, and then he turns around and talks to Ashley Bennett and fucking that way. And you guys just forgive it, but if it was fucking Titus or someone you didn't fucking like, oh shit, the fucking world would come crashing down. It just fits their narrative. That's all it does. If it fits their narrative, it's a typical liberal move. If it fits their narrative, it's okay. But if it's someone they don't like, oh hell no. They got hell to pay. We're going to blast that shit all over all these pages because we don't like this person. But yet there's same type of people that their inner circle's doing the same thing. It's okay. It's just basically LB Junior shit right there. Point across, so that's why I'm sending it to you, just in case you want to roll with it too. That Lucian is just really not that much of a fucking saint. Exactly. Did you get that off of his Lion's Face page? The two Stephen Conways? Yeah, he's big time fucking druggy, man. He's even got it on his record, fucking synthetic drugs and shit. Yeah, he's got fucking meth mouth with his greasy ass long hair. I'm waiting for the day he's going to start a GoFundMe here pretty soon. Yeah, he's a fucking loser, man. But people don't see that. They thought he was high and mighty. Oh, Lucian, he's such a good guy. You know, where's he been? We got to follow Lucian. Yeah. They all flock together. They all flock. They all come from the same goddamn mold. But you got it. Yep, that's his profile too. Jackson, Michigan. He's too broke to live in fucking California. Jackson's probably about an hour and a half away from where I'm at. And it's just a hillbilly ghost town. It's one of those things where you get them shacks with the wood burning stove and a bunch of junk cars in the fucking yard and shit. Nope. He's from Jackson, Michigan. He's even said it. He's from Jackson, Michigan. Yeah, he got mad when Jeremy told him he looked like he got his hair cut from a blind man with a butter knife. And that's what started the shit with Jeremy. He wants to have a roasting session, so when Jeremy roasts him, he fucking blocks him. Well, no. He started wanting the admins and shit to boot Jeremy behind the scenes. And then Jeremy's all, bring me up live. He requests, and he kept declining them. Well, he kept saying on his live that he wasn't declining anything. There's no camera by his fucking name, or he can't bring him up. So Jeremy screenshotted all that shit. And then Jeremy goes, well, I'm going to leave the room and I'll come back and try to request again. And when he came back, he was blocked. And that's how all that shit started in the chat room with Ashley. Because Ashley called him out on the live and said, why did you block Jeremy? And he's all, I didn't block Jeremy. And then when the live ended, he went off on Ashley in the chat. Just because Ashley fucking spoke the truth. But he was showing it to all his followers on the live and shit. He was making it sound like Jeremy didn't have a camera or Jeremy was declining coming up live. And Jeremy had the screenshots he was sending Ashley that he kept declining them. Yeah, I was going to say, those are the ones I sent to you. And then when Jenny Delaporte was crying and left the chat, here's the screenshot of what he said. And now Jenny Delaporte says, oh, he apologized. Well, his apology isn't good enough because this is what you got right here. His apology shouldn't mean shit to Jenny. Because that's how he really feels, because he's a fucking woman abuser. He looks like that picture that you sent. he looks like kind of looks like that caveman in the Geico commercial. Even a caveman can do it. If you make one of those funny videos like how you did with Shane or fucking Tony with the yuck mouth and all that other stuff, and you integrate like a commercial or something with it, you should integrate the even a caveman can do it with that picture. Yeah, can I get an interview with you? Well, first of all, his police record says different, that it's more than weed. It's synthetic weed, spice, K12. And second of all, he's probably lying. It's probably more than just weed. And if he keeps running his mouth to women, he's going to get the rest of his motherfucking teeth kicked out. And I'll fucking do it. So tell him to interview D's nuts. Going after him. Because I already told him, like Tony says, I'm coming at you hard. I'm coming at you hard. Believe me when I tell you, motherfucker, I'm coming at you hard. Yo, are you around? You see what's popping off, right? With Brittany on Tony's team? Go to Couch Talk, Karate Couch.
Okay, so this is the deal. This is what I'm thinking. I don't know for sure. When I was still on the team, at one point, Jesse kept going on his lives, talking shit about Tony, this, that, and the other. And I told Tony I was going to reach out to Jesse and talk to him and tell him, look, we won't talk about you. You don't talk about Tony, and we'll squash it, you know? Well, I called Jesse on the phone, and we talked for like 2 hours. And Jesse told me that he had deals in the making with a production company as well. And he told me, I know y'all do. You can lie and say you don't. He said, I can even tell you the name of the woman. And Jesse told me STX. He told me Janie's name. He knew everything. And he said, we've been offered something by them too. But we've also been offered from... He said they had also been offered from other places, so he wasn't sure where he was going. And I was like, well, I told him, I don't know what you're talking about, STX. I played it off because Tony didn't want me to say nothing, of course. And he was like, well, you don't have to admit it, Brittany, but, you know, that I know because the woman's already told us she's talked to Tony. And he said, all I can think of is they're wanting to do a East Coast, West Coast, New York type of show where the show is not based on just Tony, it's on predator hunting across the United States. Well, I told Tony that, and he called her, and she was like, no, I don't even know who this dude is. No, this show's just about you. That's what he told us. She said, I'm thinking that's what they're going to do, is they're making a show with all of them. Yeah, so after seeing that live tonight and hearing Jesse siding with Tony and then them saying that they had talked behind the scenes, and then him making the comments on the live about let's see whose deal is first and all that shit. I really think that that's what it's going to end up being, is A&E wants to pick them up, but wants to pick up all of them. I don't know. Maybe they all have different production companies, but A&E is willing to sign, but A&E probably sees there's more than one hunter, and so they're like, well, if all these production companies will come together, A&E will pick it up, you know, if it's all of them. See, this is what was discussed then. It was going to be because see, most of Tony's decoys, most of us were in Texas, 4 of us. And the other 2 were somewhere else. But the same way we video chat with Tony, when we talk about decoy stuff and everything, and we send chat logs to him and all that, I think they were going to film Tony, but they were only going to like Skype with the decoys. Like they wouldn't show us on TV. I don't think they were going to, because then that would give up the whole thing about being a decoy. I don't know. That's just what Tony said. Like I said, we never got to talk to that lady. Once Tony started talking to her, she never spoke to us anymore. Yeah, when Tony was live and he was talking about because that dude Luciano or whatever was saying, Tony, we want to know, everybody wants to know, what you're talking about, like what's coming. And get up here and lay down, Zeus. And Tony was like, look, I'm gonna be honest, something about a production company. He said, but look, stuff takes time. We're not doing stuff on Facebook right now because we can't. He said, but things take time. It doesn't happen overnight. Well, then when Jesse was alive, he said the same thing. He was like, guys, we have things in the works too, but like Tony said, it takes time. It really does. And for them both to say that, I was like, wow. Because he feels you as a threat. He knows that you can call him on his bullshit. That's how he works. I worked side by side with him day in and day out for months, and that's how he is. He only goes after the people he feels threatened by. Like Willie Bowman went live and attacking him about being a master plumber. Tony feels no threat by that dude, so he laughs it off. But because he feels threatened by you, he feels he has to attack. No, he never ever told me. When it was brought up again, it was like, after the first time, he's like, oh no, Shane, I'm gonna call Shane. Shane wouldn't have sent that. And then he never said nothing after that. And then when Shane was there and it was sent again while Shane was with him, and I was like, hey, some money's being sent from that Shane account again. He was like, oh yeah, that it's a different account. That evidently, because that's Shane's wife that's sending it. So then when Shane went home like a couple weeks later and money was coming through, like it would be like 3 transactions back to back, and they'd be like 250, 200, and 250, or 250, 500. When those were sent, he would delete it before he thought any of us could see it. So we never even said nothing. Oh yeah, we never seen any of it. And Lauren and I had both said, if he was continuing to get money and didn't at least, not that we were there for the money, but if you're getting donations and shit, break us off, because, we're the one putting in the work. We do everything. Like, I can't tell you how many busts we set up, and at least 20 offhand. And Tony, we would be like, hey, the guy's gonna be there in 20 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever. And he'd be like, oh no, I don't feel like it right now. Or no, he's taking too long. Or he's on my time, and we would lose him. Like, it was a disaster trying to schedule with him. But yeah, no, we never got anything. And he was like, when I get a good donation or when I get something, I'm gonna look out for y'all. We didn't get nothing. No, I wish I did. The women that would donate would private message him separately. And before we made the PayPal, like if somebody messaged the page and they wanted to offer, they're like, oh, if y'all ever need help or something financial or blah, 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 let me know. And Tony would just be like, okay, thanks. And I'm pretty sure he messaged them separately. He didn't want us to see it either, girl. I'm telling you, he was very secretive from us as well. The Shane account was what was sending him, money. He originally started off working with a detective from NYPD, and he started working with us, and he would take files. But girl, he would move so slow. Like, I would send him 5 files at a time, like for 5 separate pedos. And we wouldn't hear back for weeks, and he'd be like, okay, well, I just completed one. I'm sending it over to district attorney, and they're going to want to talk to Tony and the decoy and all this. And it was just like, whatever. Well, when the teacher thing came about up in Middleton, New York, the detective that took it over at New York State Police, when he contacted us, I talked to him personally, and he said, if they don't want to work with you, I will. And he would take on any file, and he said that if it wasn't something that he could handle, he would get it over to the proper jurisdiction for us. When he got that teacher, it was like, that was just, he hit his gold mine right there. Was she even there with that old man? I don't think she was. I don't remember if she was there with them or not. But no, Tony, I'm going to be honest. Tony turned the camera off that day because he felt bad for that old man. Even though Tony's a fucking dick, he felt bad for that old man. Just like with my first bust, my first guy, it was that young black dude. He was like 20. And Tony wanted to mentor him. He said he felt bad for the dude, that the dude didn't have no upbringing. He never had a father to teach him right. He offered that boy, he told that boy, look, I will not post this on Facebook. I won't leave it up. I won't do anything. And I won't send it to the police. If you contact me by, I think it was like 1 o'clock the next afternoon, and you sit down and talk with me, and you let me help you, you let me mentor you and guide you. Like, Tony wanted to be a positive figure in his life, so he said. And then that guy that we got, that was our first gay. The dude was gay, and he thought he was meeting a boy, and it was that heavy set dude, that chubby white guy. And Tony felt bad for him because you could tell he wasn't all there. He was kind of mentally slow. And that's why Tony turned the camera off on him, because he felt bad for him. But as far as him taking money or anything after the camera was off, like I had never heard of that ever. But then again, we're not there, I don't know. Well, Angel, I'm going to be honest. Tony, there's a lot I know he has hid from us. There's a lot of things I caught him in lies about, and I didn't say shit. So I would follow up with Angel. Angel, to me, I don't think she would lie. I don't think she would just flat out lie. She's a pretty straightforward person. I always liked Angel. That's why I couldn't understand why she hated me. I think her and I both had such forward personalities that they collided because of that. Neither one of us wanted to back down. But anyways, if she says it, then it's probably true. And he wouldn't have never told us that, because he knows damn well we wouldn't have been down for that at all. So, and then he would, of course, would have not wanted to split it with nobody. But the whole reason with her is because they were saying that she was, well, somehow one of the pedophiles she was talking to offered her gift cards or something, and she was like, shit, I'm gonna get them, if he's gonna offer him. And we were like, no, you can't do that, that's prostitution then. And then that's a whole, like, when we send that over to the New York State Police, they're gonna throw it out. If that guy goes to court and says, well, I gave her gift cards, then we're fucked. We just told her no. Well, somebody had told Tony, I don't know who it was, they thought she was meeting these dudes outside of, away from the page. Like, she was decoying, but on the cool was meeting them, because they were all in her personal business. And Peggy and them would research her Facebook page, and Investigator Peggy, and they found out that she had guys that paid her to send pictures of her feet. Like, she was one of those feet girls, you know, like, and they would send her like big money, but she posted about it on her Facebook. Like, she didn't hide shit. She didn't give a fuck. But she did post some kind of racial stuff on her profile one day, and on her Facebook profile, and Peggy made a big old deal about it. Anyways, so if he did, I wouldn't put it past him, to be honest. But for me to speak up and say, I never seen him. But she was the only one that was around him and went on a bus with him. What was the other thing I was going to answer? Oh, about Tony's daughter. And he said, Brittany, I know you used to work for an attorney. And I know you know a lot about, like, child custody and child support and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And about family law. Well, somebody had wrote the page that knew his baby mama, and they knew him, and they were like, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this now, and blah, blah, blah. Well, I seen your daughter and your baby mama. Well, anyways, he had me find her on Instagram. He told us stories about, you know, his family doing for her, and like her getting a bunch of money from his family, but him not getting to see Kayla and stuff. But I explained to him, Tony, you still, you got to pay child support. Regardless, a man would pay child support for a child he made. My husband has not got to see his daughter because of his baby mama, and it's probably been 11 months now. We're constantly fighting with her. Does that mean I don't allow him to pay child support? Absolutely not. You created that baby, and you will pay that. But I don't, the law in New York is different. And I told him this here in Texas. Even if you owe $100,000, they can't stop you from seeing your child. But these men get scared when they owe so much, they don't want to go file an enforcement. And that Tony had so many other priorities. His priorities were everywhere but with Kayla. I think he kind of had just given up. Because he's never had her in his life. So I think, you know, what's that saying? I can't think of it. But like, when something's not there, you kind of forget about it, you know. And I think, sadly, that's what happened.